Have you ever considered what the ideal percentage of your income might be for monthly investments? It's not solely about your comfort level with investing or your perception of what is sufficient. It's about the figure that has consistently demonstrated its effectiveness in enabling everyday individuals to achieve financial independence. Many individuals come across various pieces of advice, such as the importance of early and consistent investing. Yet seldom do we encounter the specific statistics that distinguish those who successfully accumulate wealth from those who struggle to keep up. That's precisely what we are analyzing today. When you examine the research and actual financial behaviors observed throughout America, the findings can be quite surprising. Be sure to view this video in its entirety, as understanding this single figure could significantly impact your long-term financial well-being. Before we delve into the specific percentage, it's important to assess the current position of most individuals. Recent analyses from leading retirement and financial organizations indicate a troubling pattern. In the United States, individuals approaching retirement age often find their typical retirement savings significantly below the amount required for a comfortable lifestyle in their later years. Despite having ample time to accumulate savings, the typical results fall short of meeting the current expenses associated with retirement. This indicates a clear trend. Many individuals are not investing sufficiently, and even more crucially, they are not starting early enough. However, this is where the situation becomes intriguing. Researchers discovered that investment success is influenced by a variety of factors beyond mere account numbers. Key elements include income growth, age, the duration of investments, and whether the investing process is automated or made as a personal choice each month. While a higher income can be beneficial, it's important to note that even individuals with respectable salaries often invest less than necessary to maintain financial security. When investing lacks automation, emotions can influence decisions significantly. We exhibit caution. Patience is key. We postpone. Such delays can result in significant years of missed compounding opportunities. Now, subscribe to our channel and also press the like button to know more financial insights. Another important observation from various financial data sources, including studies on U.S. savings rates, indicates that Americans are saving and investing significantly less than their counterparts in other developed nations. In certain regions of Europe and Asia, households are able to save between 15% to 20% of their income, whereas the average American family tends to achieve a savings rate in the single digits. It's important to keep in mind that savings and investments serve different purposes. Protect your savings. Investments have the potential to appreciate over time. This indicates that the typical investment rate is even less favorable than the already modest savings statistics imply. This brings us to a crucial inquiry. How can we determine the appropriate figure? What does research indicate is necessary to not only retire in the future but to do so with financial comfort? A number of financial professionals highlight a benchmark that has been analyzed over many years of market activity. Investing 15% of your income consistently is recognized as a strategic approach that can help you to achieve long-term financial independence. It's important to consider this at all stages of your career. It's important to consider your financial situation comprehensively, rather than only when you feel you have the means. From the time you begin your professional journey, the 15% target is a strategic figure, carefully considered and not arbitrary. This approach involves assessing the amount of capital required to sustain an individual's income in the future, taking into account realistic returns from the stock market. By adhering to this percentage throughout their careers, individuals generally build sufficient resources to meet their living expenses without depleting their funds. However, There is an important insight that your educational institution probably did not cover. The 15% figure typically encompasses contributions from employer retirement matches. Therefore, if your employer contributes 4%, your personal contribution should be 11%. However, if you are self-employed or do not receive a matching contribution, you are solely responsible for driving your financial future. That is where numerous individuals tend to struggle. Individuals often perceive that contributing 3% or 5% towards retirement is commendable. However, the reality is that this amount falls significantly short of the recommended investment levels. To provide clarity, let's consider two individuals who earn the same amount of money. One allocates 10% of their earnings towards investments, while the other allocates 20%. It may seem that this situation simply results in one individual retiring with twice the financial resources. However, the mechanics of compounding operate in a distinct manner. The extra 10% not only increases your funds but also extends your financial future. By opting to invest a slightly higher amount each month, the second individual has the potential to retire 10 years earlier than the first. Modest amounts can lead to significant transformations when given the advantage of time. However, this goes beyond mere calculations. It's essential to focus on behavior. Individuals who accumulate wealth often do not have the highest income levels. They establish practices that safeguard their finances from being eroded by lifestyle enhancements. They streamline processes through automation. They approach investing not as an optional choice, but as a necessary expense, an investment made for their future self. There is no room for discussion on this matter. Timely action is essential. It's important to remember that not achieving that 15% target right away is perfectly acceptable. So you may ask, is it wise to consider pausing until you're fully prepared? That is not advisable. The most informed response, supported by research and principles of behavioral finance, is that begin with any percentage you can manage at this moment, and gradually raise it as time goes on. It may be prudent to start at a rate of 5%. Implement automation for this process. Following a period of 6 months, consider increasing it to 7%. In that case, a 10% allocation would be appropriate. Ultimately, we can anticipate a figure of 15% or more. Every small gain propels you closer to achieving financial independence. There's an often overlooked advantage. When your lifestyle adapts to a slightly reduced income, you find that you no longer miss the money. However, your future self will undoubtedly recognize the benefits. By increasing your investing percentage sooner, you allow compounding to work in your favor for a longer period of time. Delaying your decisions will require more effort in the long run. Ultimately, the ideal percentage is not solely determined by expert recommendations. This is the occurrence that reliably takes place. It's the option that continues to expand alongside your increasing income. This is the path that leads you toward a future where work is no longer a necessity, allowing you to embrace a life that is entirely yours. If you remember just one key takeaway from this video, let it be this. Investing transcends mere financial figures. It fundamentally revolves around the concept of time. Every percentage point you enhance today paves the way for greater financial independence in the future. Starting early can significantly reduce your concerns in the future. Before you depart, I would like to present you with this opportunity for consideration. Evaluate your existing investment rate. If the value is 0, consider increasing it to 1. If it's 5, consider increasing it to 6. If your goal is 10, strive for 15. Transforming your life doesn't have to happen all at once. Consider adjusting your course for better outcomes. Your future self will appreciate the bold decision to take that first step. Now, watch the video appearing on the right side to know the smartest order to invest your money. Also, subscribe to our channel to help us complete our goal of 11,000 subscribers.